Attack on Titan trailer dropped last week and everyone is talking about Mikasa with wings, but we also got a look at some of our main characters: Jean, Reiner, Armin, Historia, Levi, Mikasa, and even a giant bird. Everyone online is fighting to decide who symbolizes an angel the most. Some say Mikasa, others say Historia, a few say it's Ymir, but everyone is missing the bigger symbolism in this episode and chapter. So let's dive into the new trailer. And yeah, let's talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome back. Sorry for being a little late with this review. If you don't know, my channel was recently demonetized by YouTube after 5 years, and that made me kind of sad. But even though my channel can't make revenue anymore, there are still things I want to talk about. So regardless, I will keep making video and finish what I started. And if you want to contribute to my demonetized channel, you can always buy me coffee. But only if you like. I love you all either way. And now, let's talk about the Attack on Titan latest trailer. This video will be spoiler free, but it will be logical, so if there are things you should understand by now from the previous seasons, I will address them. But if you are interested, wait for the end of this video where we will chat about the spoilers. First, let me just say the trailer was very short, and I expect them to release a longer, more polished trailer later on, just like they did with the previous part. The trailer starts with Armin's dialogue, while in the background we have the soundtrack Into the Night, which is not a new one. This dialogue is taking place in chapter 137, and I will show you whom Armin is talking to later in this video. In this short dialogue, Armin points out that maybe he was born just so he could raise his friends to the tree. Although by now, this is Levi's tree, so you snooze, you lose. Nah, but seriously, this trailer picks up right from where we left things in the previous part, with the scouts landing on Eren's huge titan. There isn't a lot of original animation here, and we mostly got still images. From Armin we jump to a few images from previous parts, then a short animation of a giant bird flying above soldiers. Now, this shouldn't be a spoiler by now because it was hinted in the previous part, with Falco's conversation with Annie, and later with his monologue about a dream he had. It was also foreshadowed at the beginning of the season back in 2020 when General Calvi asked if they have titans with wings, and even before that when Falco dreamt he was flying over the battlefield, so more on that later. From there, we jump to Mikasa attacking with thunder spears, and Jean holding on to Reiner with lots of titans all around. We will talk about those titans later, but the more important issue is Jean not letting Reiner fall. To remind you, those two have lots of bad blood between them, especially because of Marco's death. So it is admirable to see enemies fight together once again, and that goes for Mikasa, Annie, and the rest of them. Next we have Best Girl Peak running with some explosives in her mouth, followed by the money shot of this trailer, Mikasa with wings. Seriously, is there anyone who hasn't seen this yet? But anyways, there is a great symbolism here. First of all, this is a reference to season 1, with Mikasa's speech on the rooftops. This time it just went a little different. But anyway, the fact she looks like an angel is no accident. The motive of angels and devils was always around in the story. We saw that with Erwin, Eren, Ymir, other Ymir, Historia, Mikasa, and many others. But this image is mostly symbolic because it's a reference to the name of this chapter, which is the Battle of Heaven and Earth. This is a clear reference to the biblical war in heaven. The war in heaven featured two groups of angels fighting against each other, what eventually led to Satan being cast from heaven. Eren's huge titan not only looks like a puppet on strings, but he also looks like he is held upside down, almost like a fallen angel that fell from heaven or fell from grace. And it's also featured in the Red Swan OP. Like a fallen angel. The war in heaven wasn't a fight between good and evil. They were all just angels. Angels that simply shared different views on life, made different choices, and landed on different sides of the battlefield. That is pretty much like our story. No good or evil, just humans trying to act in a way they think is best. They make choices and find themselves on different sides of the conflict. And like all wars, this one also started because of different opinions and choices made along the way. Of course, all of this is only symbolic and you can interpret it however you like, but I thought that would be an interesting take to share with you. Next, we have an image of Levi demolished, and later a close-up of his sad eyes. Here's a spoiler for you. This season, Levi is going to cry. But seriously, it is so heartbreaking seeing this beast, the strongest man in this entire story, so broken and weak. But it is also very logical. Attack on Titan was always realistic, and some injuries are too much, even for Levi. This is the moment a new generation is about to take his place. Just like everything in life, legends also get replaced. Same as All Might and Deku in My Hero Academia. These are the moments Levi figuratively passes the flame to the next in line. Humanity's strongest soldier, which is of course Mikasa. Next we have a glimpse of Connie, Pieck looking hurt, Armin looking at Ymir, Mikasa looking sad, and the same with Levi. And we finish with Annie's Titan surrounded by Titans with something rushing towards her. Oh, and of course, have you ever seen a burrito crying? And no, that's not a flashback. The trailer ends with Armin's speech, which can be summarized with this panel, and then we get Mikasa's phrase, "See you later, Eren," followed by the upside down image of the tree we got in the previous part. And that is the end of the trailer, and like I said, I fully expect to get a full, more detailed trailer to analyze very soon. And let me just say it now for the record, I believe the words "Forget about me, Mikasa" would be the main feature in that trailer, so we will wait and see. The new episode is scheduled for October with no specific release date yet, but of course I will update you here and on all of my social media. And now let's talk about some spoilers. There aren't many, but if you want to remain completely spoiler free, you should stop watching now. First of all, I joked a bit about Historia not being in the trailer. That is because she is not around too much in the final part. We will get to see her twice. Once during labor, and again much later at the end of the story. About Armin's dialogue. If you don't remember, this is his dialogue with Zeke in the Paths, talking about enjoying the little things in life. What led Armin to look back on the little things that brought him joy, including racing both of his friends. It takes place in chapter 137, which will also finally reveal the origin of Titans and what happened millions of years ago. Now, of course, let's talk about the wings. So yeah, this is obviously Falco's Titan flying behind Mikasa, making her look like an angel. And I gotta say, it looks amazing like this. So why is Falco a flying Titan now? Falco is different. We haven't seen any Titan shifter like him before. He was the only known Titan shifter to become a Titan after ingesting the spinal fluid of a royal blood Titan shifter. That is of course Zeke, who is the holder of the Beast Titan. But Falco didn't inherit the Beast. Instead, he inherited the Jaw Titan, and that placed him in this unique situation. In the latest part, we found out the female Titan has the power to inherit other Titans' power if she eats some of their body parts. Adding to that, Falco had a dream of him flying. After talking to Annie, he decided it is not a dream, but a memory from one of the past Beast Titans, which he can access because of Zeke. And because of his dream, Annie's Titan power, and the fact that he was Titanized from a royal spinal fluid, Falco is now sure he could actually fly. And yep, he wasn't wrong. And with all that foreshadowing of him dreaming about flying, Falco becomes the first flying Titan in our story. Now, about the big fight going around and all the Titans we see in the trailer. This is just another power of the founding Titan, the ability to summon the past Titan shifter. Pay attention that all of them are connected to the body of Eren's Titan, the same way the Beast Titan was connected to it in the previous part. So yeah, this is not the real Beast Titan, but don't worry, you will get to see Zeke later in this episode. About the scene of Bertolt crying, this is him and Armin in the Paths, and Bertolt will be one of the shifters summoned to fight the group. Armin will reach the Paths after he will meet his new friend, the Okapi Titan, that will swallow him and send him to the Paths to meet Zeke. Hello, Eren's friend. By the way, the last scene of Annie is probably the one when the Okapi Titan was racing towards them. So yeah, this is going to be an incredible fight, and I can't wait to see how the animators will handle all of this mayhem. I am waiting for the Levi scenes, which this time will involve him getting injured and saved most of the time. Yes, Levi is part of this fight and is incredible, but he is also about to sustain one of his most devastating injuries. We are used to Levi saving the day, but in this part, Levi will learn to depend on his friends and former students to give him strength. But don't worry, Levi will be there until the very last moment. And that is all for this trailer, and as I mentioned, I am positive we will get a longer, more polished one later. I actually don't even know how the last part will be presented. Will it be a long 1-hour episode like the previous part, or will it be different? Let me know what you think in the comments, and also what part are you most excited for. I will see you all in the next video and even sooner in the comments, and until next time, let me just remind you all to dedicate your hearts to all of humanity, inside and outside the walls.